My name is Ann Jensen, and I'm an industrial hygienist at Sandia National Labs. And for your first mathematical challenge, which may take supercomputing, I was born in 1950. So you have to figure out what that means for age, okay? I'm not going to tell you anything more. An industrial hygienist evaluates workplaces for health and safety hazards, like tripping on a ball bearing. And so I have an opportunity. I did spend 4 years with an OSHA program in Oregon, and got a chance to see actually hundreds of workplaces. At Sandia, I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of different organizations and their work environments. So that's been very interesting in the fire protection group, actually, at Sandia. So I brought no more about me personally. We can talk about that in our small groups, but I did bring a demonstration to give you a sense of what I do for a living. So I'm going to need a couple of volunteers, and I'd like to move over the table if that's okay. Great. Have you got a good imagination? Great, very good. Okay, so 1950, get busy. And he does supercomputing, so there's your resource. Many of the activities that I get involved with require air monitoring to ensure that the atmosphere is safe for a person to enter in completing their job assignment. And so I'm going to pretend that I'm supporting a maintenance person who has to go into a pit to check a pump. There's a pump down here in the basement and it's not working. So they're going to go into troubleshoot, but before they can do that, this is actually a below-grade sump, and the atmosphere could be harmful to them. Does anybody have a sense of the amount of oxygen in this space? The amount of oxygen that is requisite to us being healthy people on our planet? Guesses? We're going to go to one of my volunteers here. This was calibrated before I left, okay? It has since floated a little bit, but it's still within a good range here. Here you go. This is an air monitoring device. It's a 4-way gas meter, and it's looking today at carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide, the lower explosive limit, but the one piece of information we're interested in for our sump is this information down here, and that is the percent of oxygen. Can you read that number?
20.9.
Great, perfect, right on. So it was calibrated before I left, and so I know that it's good to go. And okay, pretend I'm not preparing my sample here, okay? So when you go to Smith's and you see the balloons that are ready for birthdays, what kind of gas are they using?
Helium.
Great. Why? Why do they?
So they can float.
They float, right? And they float because the density of helium is really, it's a really light gas, right? They can't use regular air or the balloons wouldn't float, right? Okay. This is not helium. You have to sing while I'm getting ready.
I can't sing.
I picked a volunteer though.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Perfect.
I can't sing.
Okay, would you come up here? Would you come up? Do you know how to work these bubble things? So that you don't splatter everybody over there? Could you get some bubbles in here? I'll probably get people wet, but I'll face the other way. Okay, watch me. And then you can do it. You can put it in. Do you want to
Float in there?
put in there?
Are you making sound effects?
So what's the deal with the bubbles? Notice how now that one's stuck because it actually stuck. Here, I'm a little bit taller. Let's see if I can get some in there. What happened to the bubbles? Did anybody notice?
I didn't see.
I didn't see
Go
what?
look.
It looks like I rejected them.
Good. So remember, I've got a maintenance guy. He wants to go down here.
That's bad.
It why don't
Tell us
you,
what's going on.
yeah, what do you think's happening there?
They're
So-
stuck in there.
So obviously,
If
we don't have helium in there, do we?
What happens if you do use helium?
Well, it would be out of there by now because it's light, right? It
Oh,
would
yeah.
float out. But we don't have air in there either, do we?
Can I pop it?
We don't have air in here. Would you agree that we don't have air? Because if we have air,
There is air in there. Oh, it's gone.
wouldn't the bubbles sink? Would you agree? Okay, so my next volunteer here.
So that means there's no air in there?
Tell me. Put it in there.
This?
Yep.
How am I supposed to know there's air in there? There's a bomb!
So the instrument is reading.
That's cool.
Oh, shoot.
Probably not a good news.
What's the number?
18.1.
Okay, 18.1. So the safe range of oxygen concentration for a human being, or at least to enter that sump, the low-grade sump, to checking the oxygen concentration, would be we cannot go in at less than 19.5. There's not enough oxygen to support life.
So if I stuck my head in there, I couldn't breathe?
Well, I mean, we're having to use our imagination here. Like this is a below-grade sump, a big thing full of gas, full of this gas that, and I'll tell you, this is a gas, I am using a gas that is used for many purposes. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. So we can't go into a space when the oxygen level is less than 19.5, and we don't want to go in when it's over 25, and that's a percent. So percent, because then there's too much oxygen in the air, and an oxygen enriched environment can be hazardous as well as an oxygen deficient environment. So would you think that the maintenance person can go in here right now?
No.
No, right? And so, you know, the math and science of it, you know, we're interested in what kind of gas is in there. And we're interested in how much ventilation is going to be required to do an air exchange that's going to allow breathable air into the space. So that's what I do. I look at workplaces, I identify hazards, biological hazards, health and safety hazards, all sorts of different hazards, and help people make decisions on whether or not they're going to do a job in a specific manner. That'd be me.